All right, want to get certain people of certain parts of the majority party all worked up? Start talking about jobs Americans won't or refuse to do. We've spoken to farmers, dairy farmers, food production, and they all tell us they can't get Idahoans to work for them longer than a week or even a day, which is why many of them welcome guest workers from outside the U.S. as part of the H-2A work visa program. But the need isn't just in agriculture. Right now, those visas, the H-2B visas for jobs in construction, landscaping, restaurant, and service industries, they're capped at 66,000 for the entire country. Well, now both of Idaho's senators have signed onto a letter asking the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Labor to allow for more H-2B workers. Joe Paris asked Senator Mike Crapo why.
A bipartisan group of U.S. senators are advocating for American businesses who say they need help filling employment gaps. Idaho Senators Mike Crapo and Jim Risch are calling for the release of additional work visas for non-agriculture employees.
This is a letter that is being led by Senator Mike Rounds from South Dakota and Angus Keene from Maine, and it requests the Department of Labor and Homeland Security to release supplemental H-2B visas for fiscal year 2026.
Senator Mike Crapo has signed on to similar efforts in the past with the goal of supporting Idaho businesses.
It allows our businesses to keep their businesses fully operational with adequate employees, and it's been a very significant help to Idaho businesses.
H-2B visas are for seasonal or temporary workers, and there's an annual cap of 66,000 visas for the year. Employers need to try and fill spots with American workers first, but those spots can be tough to fill.
Construction, take that for example. There wouldn't be enough workers for the construction crews to be fully effective. And then when they aren't, then what that means is they have to do fewer jobs, generate less revenue and less economic activity in the state of Idaho. So our economic activity goes down and the productivity of these companies goes down. And their opportunities to really build the strongest companies and the strongest economy they can.
Across the nation, needs for H-2B visas vary. In Idaho, there is primarily a need in forest and timber work. Idaho has 52 employers that utilize the program for a total of about 1,500 workers. Resorts, golf clubs, construction, landscaping operations, they're among the top fields using the program in Idaho.
While we try to fix our broken immigration system so that we can truly have a guest worker program that allows for legal entry into the United States for work purposes on a temporary basis, that we have a relief valve for those businesses in the state of Idaho and across the country, but in our case, in the state of Idaho, it shows that our delegation recognizes that our businesses do have a need for workers, and we're providing them an opportunity to get access to those workers.
In the letter to the Departments of Homeland Security and Labor, signed by Idaho's delegation in the Senate, the point is raised. Issuing the extra discretionary H-2B visas in a timely manner will help alleviate these workforce shortages, and in doing so will help create and sustain the jobs of American workers who rely on the H-2B workers to support their duties during their peak season.
Well, Congress has already authorized these additional H-2B visas, but it takes the Department and Homeland Security to make the regulatory decision to release these visas for access.
And of course, when you talk about B, you should also talk about A. And conversations do continue in Congress about H-2A visas that are specifically for agricultural workers. Brian, a big sticking point in Idaho, for example, Idaho dairies, they're not a temporary or a seasonal job that needs staffing. And that is something that Idaho's congressional delegation has touched on in recent years. So there needs to be a fix. And as you heard Senator Crapo touch on, they're working on immigration in Congress, but we know families in Idaho, family farms, family operations, we're not even talking about big corporations, they're asking for help now.
Yeah, well, we do know that there are senators and lawmakers within the state of Idaho that would not agree to any of this expansion.
That's true. There are absolutists that say we do not want any immigrants working jobs.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Joe.